Did you know that 5.8% of the world's total population can solve a Rubik's Cube? That's around 475 million people. You might not think that's a lot, but we live in a small world with many people in it, one of which is the creator of the Rubik's Cube, Erno Rubik. He made it as a teaching tool for one of his college classes in 3D designing. It was never designed to be a toy, but people liked the idea so much that they decided to challenge themselves. So today we're going to go back in time, turn the pieces to uncover the history. Then we'll uncover all the different designs of the Rubik's Cube, and finally solve the puzzle to why it's such a notorious puzzle. First, we need to turn the pieces back to 1974, where Erno Rubik made his first magic cube, aka the old Rubik's Cube. The problem with the Rubik's Cube at first was the structural problem of moving parts independently without the entire mechanism falling apart. Toy agents discovered the design of the Rubik's Cube and pitched their ideas. Later in 1980, the Rubik's Cube was bought and sold. Today, over 500 million cubes were sold worldwide. Now we need to uncover all the different designs of the Rubik's Cube. For example, there's the standard 3x3 that people recognize when they hear the word Rubik's Cube. That's because it's the most iconic, coming all the way from 1974 when it was originally made. There's other designs like the 4x4 or 2x2 that are simpler to solve, but with the right mechanism, it could be, most people don't know what's going on. And now we can finally move on to solving the puzzle to why it's such a notorious puzzle. But how do we actually solve this? This has evaded the creator for over a month. The trick lies in leaving your ego at the door and repeated trial and error. For me, it took a month. For others, it takes years or months. It depends on how dedicated you are to wanting to actually try and learn the Rubik's Cube. I'm going to teach you how to solve the Rubik's Cube in 6 simple steps. We're going to start off with step 1, which most of the time I associate with a flower or the white cross. By that I mean most of the time it's the easiest to find the white colors on every side because it's the easiest to find. So we're going to set up the top layer as a flower. So we have all of those. It's usually represented with a daisy. And then we're going to find the color. So we have blue. So we're going to want to turn that to the blue center and then turn that down. So we'll officially have the beginning of the cube. We're going to do that to all the sides till we have the beginning of the Rubik's Cube. So it should look like this at the end of it. And now we can officially move on to step 2 of edge pairing. This is what it should look like at the end. And a better example is with a 3D object. So the first layer should be done. And by first layer, I mean it's usually represented with, the first layer is usually represented with white. The second layer is usually represented with the centers. And finally, the last layer is usually represented with the yellow. And so we're going to try and get to this point. So we're going to find a color. So we have green and red. We're going to move that piece over to the corresponding colors. We're going to lift that side up, turn the piece into place, and move it back down. So now we officially have one piece out of 4. We're going to do that to all the sides to officially have them into the correct place. So we officially have the beginning of the Rubik's Cube. This is where I'll officially say, this is where you always want to end up with extra pieces added on, or a checkpoint. To help solve the Rubik's Cube, we always want to turn back to this step and add more to it. So now we're going to find pieces. So we have blue, red. We're going to want to move this piece to here. So how do we do so? We need to remember this algorithm, which looks terrifying at first, but once you get used to it, it is as simple as matching colors. To me, I'm already used to this. So we're going to move this piece. So we're going to go left up, top left, left down, top right, left up, the top layer goes 180, doesn't matter which direction, then left side down, top right, left up, top layer, left or right twice, left down, top right, left up, top left, left down, and we officially moved the piece from here to here, and we will do that for all the pieces of the Rubik's Cube. And the algorithm is swapped for when doing it on the right hand. I put these two in the same category because I used the same steps to officially solve the Rubik's Cube by doing this algorithm. And as you can see, I'm always returning back to the first step, or the first checkpoint, because no matter what I do, I will always return back to this one crucial step. And now we can officially start going on to the last few corners of the Rubik's Cube. So now we can officially move on to corner pairing with the yellow layer. By that, I mean, we usually want to find a side that already is there. So we have red, blue, yellow. So we're going to keep this piece in place. So we're going to do this algorithm. So we're going to take this left, right up, top right, left up, top left, right down, top right, left down. And as you can see, this piece stayed in place while all the other pieces moved. We repeat that until all the pieces are in the correct place. So right here, we have all the pieces. Now we can officially move on to step 6. So we're going to right side up, top left, right down, top right. We're going to repeat this process till we officially move the piece. But our first layer was already destroyed. So how do we fix that? We're going to move the bottom layer and then repeat that process till we officially solve the Rubik's Cube. With that in mind, there's a reason that 5.8% of the world's total population can solve a Rubik's Cube. That's because they understand the hidden math behind every deceptive turn. Though most people get confused and frustrated after only 5 turns. With the knowledge that I've taught you today, maybe you can encourage others around you to learn the same thing I've taught you today. All it takes is courage to try to tell others what you enjoy. Thank you.